Perfect, perfect. So do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. This is a message brought to you by the good folks at Earn Your Leisure and the good brother Ian Dunlap, the master investor. Do your own research, y'all.
Get your notepad ready. Let's go.
81. Let's do it.
You know if you can see my screen.
Yep, you good.
All right, let's get right to it. We have an amazing show lined up for you. Today's show is how to master the market, and I'm going to give you the easiest stocks to invest in. Everybody type in chat. Investing is easy when I follow a blueprint. And if this is your first time listening, I'll be sure to give it to you tonight. Disclaimer, do not copy, remix, or reproduce my material without written permission. All strategies that are talked about, all material talked about here, even Tech 2 Index, is a creation of mine. Please do not share without my permission to do so, because I don't want my lawyer to do his legal thing. Love you all. Subscribe to YouTube and joinredpanda.com. For those of you that are looking for exclusive deals and exclusive information, these are the places that I will be posting them, and then Unfiltered will be coming out there as well. Go follow me on TikTok. My username on there is @TheRealMasterInvestor. There I will be posting investing related secrets that I've talked about nowhere, not even in the stock club or on Market Mondays. If you got the first one this past week and you thought it was fire, put fire in chat. But go follow me on TikTok and I'll be posting some stock market secrets there. If you want to join the stock club, tonight is your chance. So I'm only going to be doing a deal tonight. The brothers can put the link in the chat. We'll do another one in August and then another one in December, and that's it. So the stock club will give you the 4 best stocks for your retirement, the best places to get in and out of the market. Additional entries called out by the algorithm of Athena and that beautiful crystal ball of mine, which I created. The best growth stocks to invest in, the 2 best places to where to get into the market, gem of the day, a daily call for 10 minutes each day, which normally goes over, and 28 bonus picks of the year, and a portfolio that you don't have to worry about day in and day out. So if you made money with Stock Club, put money in chat. So for those that are new, they can see that it's the real deal. Stock Club call tonight. What happened tonight at 9 p.m. Central after Market Mondays for Stock Club members of Red Panda only. And the Stock Club flash sale starts today. You have 24 hours only. I will not run it back. You guys know I don't play with the prices. I'm not gonna run it back, so take advantage of it today if you want the best stocks to invest in. So these are 4 sites to use if you want to know what the insiders are doing. Please write this down or screenshot these. 1 is insidemonitor.com. The second one is fintel.io. The third one, openinsider.com, I've talked about before. It's pretty damn good. But this one is pretty unique. SenateStockWatcher.com. And here's the site. Some of you don't know that most senators or those that are in government or congressional positions tend to do better than those that are not in aggregate when it comes to return on investment. So you can click here. You can see return by senator. So if I want to see, hey, what is John Boozman invested in? It can give you a breakdown of some of the things that he's in, number of transactions, number of sales, etc. Right? Let's say if we want to go by ticker. So you guys already know Apple is one of the companies that I think is absolutely amazing, one of the best of all time. You can click in here to then see Apple, Microsoft, AMD, and it'll pull those up here as well. And then if you go to the blog, it'll give you some interesting information here about what congressmen and women are thinking. And then also too, if you go to the House Stock Watcher, it can tell you for those that are in the House of Representatives what they are investing in. So let's take a look at Allen right here. Right? We can scroll down and see activity by quarter, top traded by ticker volume, and these are the ones that he is invested in. So if you guys want an edge, you should look at and see what some of the people that are higher up on the food chain and what they are doing and what they're potentially buying to then be able to have an edge in the market. So this stock, this one is housestockwatcher.com, and this other one right here that I initially mentioned is senatestockwatcher.com. And if you pair that with Wallmine, my God, you will have a great edge to see the ones in which they're buying and if they're good for a long period of time. If that Wallmine gem last week was amazing, put fire in chat, please. And I sent this to the Stock Club members last week, but Chinese military scientists filed for a patent for COVID vaccine on February 24th of 2020. So last year when I was telling you guys, hey, it'll probably take 18 to 36 months for things to get back to normal, we'll be shut down for a year. Everyone's like, no, that's not true. But when you start to look and see, during every crisis, there is an opportunity for immense growth and wealth. This person filed for this on the 24th when most people did not find out that COVID was a real thing until March. There's an old saying to follow the money, and this is one of those cases where if you did some digging, you could see what could have come from COVID. Buffett predicts there's going to be a crash based on his indicators. So if you look up here, this is the previous high of 2000. And right now we're over that same area, which means we are slightly overextended. And some of you have messaged me like, hey, what do you think? I know you love Warren. Do you think we're going to crash? Stop worrying about the big short and focus on investing for the long term in a big fashion. I'll say that. Any drops, and I'll tell you guys honestly, anytime that we have a chance for any major market or any top 10 tech stock to drop precipitously, as they would say on Market Mondays, we want to take advantage of that. Put this in chat. Crashes are a chance for opportunity for those of us who are prepared. A lot of you guys hate crashes because you haven't done the work. I see it as an amazing opportunity. So if a house goes on sale, or let's say a business is worth $10 million and it goes on sale for $30,000, that is an opportunity of a lifetime to me. We should look at these crashes as the same, but are we overextended? Slightly. Domino's Pizza is up 7,000% since 2004. Google, of course, went public during that same period of time. So if we look here at this chart, we can see this built a base for a long period of time. So stayed at this level for a long period of time between $38 in 2006 and got down to a low of $2.61. The people that bought this in the recession, in the crash, the last crash, the financial crisis, had a great run. And this is why I tell you, great stocks will stand the test of time. Terrible stocks fall apart quickly. So when people are like, hey, why don't you talk about something other than Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, VGT, VTI, Caterpillar, I'm like, I don't want to trade a great company for a shitty one because you may not have the discipline that I have. Put this in chat. Great companies will make you rich if you hold them for a long period of time. Holding them for a short period of time will make you poor. I put this on Twitter earlier. I'm like, don't you notice all the people who said that I was not for the culture, or I charged too much, or we didn't know what we were talking about? None of them help you get rich or get out of your job or retire. You don't have to follow me or like my disposition or thesis on the market. One thing I can say, when you follow the richest people to have walked this planet, they historically have held companies for a long period of time. Those who have not ended up in a poorhouse, right? So Domino's is a tech company that focuses on food delivery and pizza. Job well done to this company. And yes, this stock is amazing. It should hit maybe 644 within 3 or 4 years. Kudos to Investing Lion. I wanted to walk you through 3 fun facts about Mercado Libre. Mercado Libre is probably one of the greatest businesses and publicly traded companies on the face of the earth that more people are not talking about and should be. It was the first Latin American company to be listed on Nasdaq. So you guys know I love Nasdaq, but anytime there is a player that enters a space and they're the first, if they have a competitive advantage or edge, is something I will look to add potentially to my holdings. More than 70% of their employees are under 30 years old. And then eBay bought 19.5% of Mercado Libre in 2001 and sold a stake in 2016. Now, hindsight is always 2020. I don't know all the conditions that made eBay sell Mercado Libre, right? I don't know all the conditions in which McDonald's chose to sell their stake in Chipotle. Answer this for me. Would eBay, which most people don't use, more people are using Shopify. That's why I said Shopify is the new eBay, and Stripe will be the new PayPal. Would eBay and McDonald's would have been better off holding the positions in Mercado Libre and Chipotle long term? Yes or no? I want to shout out Brianna for being up 181% on SPCE. And I know some of you got beat up in it, but this is the most important lesson that I want you to take from me. Or one of the most important ones. If you believe in a stock, hold it for 5 years minimum. Put it in chat. If you believe in a stock, hold it for 5 years. I want to shout out my guy Kobe. He was the first one to really talk to me about Virgin Galactic. And this is why I tell you guys, you don't want to buy the high. So it went to 62.80, fell back. Man, it went to $14 and 27 cents. The yearly open for Virgin Galactic was $23.92. For those of you who are asking, how can I get into the market? The yearly open is another way in which you can get into the market. This is the last time I'm going to talk about it. Here's the thing. Use the instruments that I give you. Use them. This is another way. So you have fibs, you have the 200, you have the 100, you have the 72, you have a 20, you have a yearly open. This on the way up. Snipers, you notice the pattern, is a way to buy in which you could have got in, and now it's at 54. The biggest lesson I do want you to take out of this though is to hold whatever you believe in for a 5-year period minimum. If you truly believe in it, hold it for 10. The biggest issue is not what to buy, is that you're not holding the shit long enough in order for it to materialize for the fashion that you needed to for your benefit. Block out the noise, hold for 5 years minimum. If you believe in it truly, hold it for 10, and then let the financial dust settle where it may. What are my thoughts on the ticker symbol TEVA? Let's take a look. So if I'm looking at TEVA, you guys tell me, what is the direction of this? The high was at 72.31. The high was in 2015. It's currently sitting at 10.25. Maybe if you have some information that I may not have, you can invest in it. Me personally, I don't like this. I like for a stock to move to the upside, not to the downside. And then if I go to the 5-year month, this is the 200-day moving average. The average smooth out price is 37.25, and back in 2015, the average price was 53.54. It never broke above 53.54. No. So think of it like this: if the balance in your bank account was $53,540, you now have $10,000 left. Is your bank account moving upward or down? The answer, of course, is down. We want to buy assets that increase in value and not decrease. Now, maybe news can change, but as of right now, I do not like this stock. And the true thing I want us to focus on is peace of mind and happiness. And then you have to realize that everything is important until you're sick. And I saw this quote, I thought it was amazing. Nonetheless, we borrow from the bank of our health, taking loans and the stress and sleepless nights to pay for something that does not really matter. And truth be told, the car, the clothes, the accessories, the toys do not matter as much as your health, your happiness, and your peace of mind. Write down the people that cause you stress and peace of mind. And not saying that you have to completely eliminate them, but maybe talk to them 50 to 75% less to see if that increases your happiness. Kudos to Ken. Ken called me and challenged me like, hey, I want you to do this 7-day juice fast with me. It's been 18 months probably since I did my last one. I'm like, I want to do it. He was like, okay, I'm starting. Send me the pictures when you get yours. And I feel great. I say all that to say, anything that causes excessive stress, misery, or unhappiness in your life, I want you to get rid of. Because the truth is, if you amass all this money by listening to the advice and the insights that we've given, that I've given you, and you have a bunch of hell going on in your life, it is for nothing. And we all may know one or two people that have put the emphasis on money, and at different points in time in life I have as well. And then your health isn't there and it means nothing. Please make the adjustment beginning tonight. Kudos to the big Aristotle, the most dominant guy of all, big man of all time. And I meant to post this a couple months ago, but and the guys were with Shaq recently. And Shaq does not get enough credit for being a great business person, but great piece of advice here. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep, Shaq says. Save 75% of your earnings and put it away. Use the 25%, other 25% as you please. Put in chat right now, I'm going to either save or invest 75% of my money. Because what good is it if you make $3 or $8 or $10 million in your lifetime and you go blow it all to show off on a gram to other people that are not happy on the gram? Huge mistake. I told my brother the amount of money that I'm actually saving and or investing in the market. His entire face dropped and he was just like, shit. Save, invest. Use that money to make you more money and treat every dollar as a soldier to make you more money. You shopping only takes your money and your time that you've worked hard for to give it to another family to then make them rich. Does that sound stupid or not? Even the Saturday sales and weekend sales, that was a mechanism to get wealth transferred from the masses into people's families. But you can do as you please. And I want you to tell you this. This past weekend, the 26th would have been my grandmother's birthday. My grandma Rose, may she rest in heaven. Love you dearly. But ironically enough, it's the anniversary of the passing of my other grandma, Grandma Katie, my dad's mom. So as you get older, you begin to really focus in on what matters. And I'm telling you, family, friends, people that you care about, going after your purpose and your passion, that matters most. If there's somebody that you have not talked to in a while in your family, just call them and tell them, yeah, I love you. Even if you guys are not seeing eye to eye, even if you haven't talked in a while, even if you've done wrong, a lot of times just saying I love you will have a tremendous impact on them. And then also, write this down. Make a list of 20 people that you need to call and check on every month. Ironically enough, 7 days later, my granddad, God rest his soul, my granddaddy John, so they were the original John and K plus 8. And I'll talk about that because in this generation, like, the ability to even make money and communicate is way easier than what our grandparents have. We cannot take this for granted. But my grandfather ended up passing 7 days after my grandmother Katie passed. And most people, kudos to everybody back home, found out at my grandmother's funeral. I'll tell you this, I ain't give a fuck about the marketing, business, revenue at that time. The only thing I wanted to do was figure out a way to ease the pain of my dad and my aunts and my uncles. And as you get older, you realize those moments with family matter more than anything. Even in Western society and in America, we put such an emphasis on getting a bag, and that's important. But the real bag is having freedom and then spending time with those that you love. But that has to be the priority. And even if you don't have the money and you're on your grind, you have to carve out time for them, because once they're gone, it's too late. So God, may you bless all of my grandparents and family members that are in heaven. Here are the top 5 holdings of the S&P 500. A lot of times we don't have to recreate the wheel. I've given you guys a blueprint, but listen, the top 5 holdings of the S&P 500, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and they hit $1 trillion for the first time today, and Google. Have you heard of those companies? Yes or no? I know you guys want the sexy play, and hey man, I want a weekly option put. Listen, that shit don't work, because the discipline that it takes to make that work, 98% of the population doesn't have. And the people in the comment on a replay is gonna say, oh, he's wrong. Do you have the money now and are you retired? Let's stop talking about theoreticals and let's talk about what has actually been done. When I came on and told you guys in the beginning of 60 months and sacrifice, you've seen me live those principles. I didn't upgrade my camera to maybe 4 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. Sacrifice. But when you're pouring, going back to Shaq's advice, 75% of your money into winners, that will add up for you, and that is how you will be able to get wealth. And truth be told, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Tesla, Roku, Chase, Johnson & Johnson, Mercado Libre, Chipotle all have better business operations, better CEOs, and better infrastructure than any of us talking or watching us tonight. Invest in them. And for those of you who, even after all those I spotted out, is going to say, I don't know what to invest in. 2 tech companies, Apple, Microsoft, 2 index, VGT, VTI, you're golden. I'm going to be real. If you don't do 2 tech and 2 index, you don't want to be rich. You don't want to be rich. You don't want to be rich. You're bullshitting. You want to gamble because you hate what you do. You hate your primary business, or you hate your job, or you have not taken enough time to master your craft to then monetize. Put it in chat. 2 tech, 2 index. If you don't do this, you don't want to be rich. And kudos to the queen, who's currently sitting in office. Interesting quote, and you guys go play this video. She said, for years and generations, wars have been fought over oil. In a short matter of time, they will be fought over water. For those of you that have watched The Big Short with Michael Burry at
Damn, what happened? You good, Ian?
There he goes.
Yo, as soon as he said Kamala Harris, I said, "Oh no!"
Censored. Nah, took it too far, a little too far.
here, bioengineering.
He back. He said, "Nah. They got the VP. We cleared this." That's crazy.
Start talking that political talk, man. I told him stop doing that.
That's crazy because I just had a whole hour and a half conversation with Paula McCarthy, who is owner of a water plant here in New York, and she's ready to have operations actually speed up a little bit. So shout out to Paula. That's crazy that's what he put in as his slide, and that's the last slide he got.
That's it. Check on him. I told him.
I'm good. I'm here. I'm safe. Hold on. Let's try and get it going. And these were good comments. This wasn't nothing crazy.
Yo, the Letter Boys is watching, man. We forgive you.
Namaste. Those of you who are, right? All right, let me see if this is working now.
I love it here.
Those of you that have watched The Big Short with Michael Burry, at the end of the plan or no?
Nah.
You good?
He's back?
Yeah, he back.
All right. Movie, they told you what he was going to invest in. Once again, you don't have to listen to me, but listen to what the 1% and the best in their field are actually doing. So I don't know what's going to come of this yet. Maybe nuclear fallout, maybe chemical warfare, bioengineering, maybe biowarfare. Who knows? But if everyone is starting to say that one of the most important resources is going to have a shortage, you have to then begin to look at the places in which you will be able to make money and monetize from that. Nike hit an all-time high. We told you guys about it last week. I told you guys about it when they said Kaepernick was the reason that the stock dropped. That is not true. Years ago, let's go look at the chart. And this is Nike's chart right here. Let me ask you a question. And the fellas only. Put this in chat. How many pair of J's or how many pair of Nikes do you have? And you know where I'm going? Great. How many shares of Nike do you have? And is it a 1-to-1 ratio? I'm going to tell you this. For every pair of Jordans that you have, I want you to have at least 100 shares of Nike per pair. 2005, the stock was at $10.65. It is at $1.52. If you are doing business with someone, you should also have a way to make business by doing business with them. Chart's beautiful. The 200 was down here. If we go to the 5-year chart at 61 bucks, gave you guys the prices of Nike would get in. If you would have just got in off the yearly open, you got it at 142.85. It's at 152. And then you can, for those that do technical analysis, you can see the support areas were down here at 125 and then previously at 130. Those are all good areas to get into the market of Nike. Buy the companies that are dominant in their spaces and hold them for 5 to 10 years. And before we go to this, quick accountability. How many shares have you bought this month? I don't want to hear anything in the comments. How many shares have you bought this month? Because you can ask endlessly what the ones are to buy, but if you don't take the action and execute when you should, because timing, right? So when you have mastered this, and I always say I'm on this proverbial mountain climbing up to master, to get better. But when you have time in the market and you can time the market as I can and pick which ones to be in and the ones to stay away from, the only thing left for you to do is execute. Put in chat how many shares you bought this month. The number of shares that you buy should be the first thing that you buy every month before you pay any bill. Some of you are going to ask in BlackRock, love, kudos to everyone at BlackRock, what are the 3 best ETFs? Write this down. IVV, IWF, and IVW. Those are 3 of some of the best ETFs at BlackRock. What are my thoughts on VGT? Absolutely love it. Love, 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 love. Love. One of the smoothest products that Vanguard has ever created on the growth side, for sure. VGT, I absolutely love. If I had to pick one index, if you wanted growth, it would be that one. Should we use Thinkorswim's on-demand feature to practice trade? If you don't have NinjaTrader or Infinity, yes, you absolutely should. How often should we naked trade? Twice per month. That's it. And I would do it either on the first Monday of the month or the last Monday of the month and no other time. Why? Because of volume. Here's the thing though. You have to write this down. You have to set your target in advance and obey your target and obey your stop. If you get your head cut off because you had a 40 tick stop and you let it go 80 ticks or 88 ticks, that is on you. A lot of this is about personal accountability. But if you trade naked twice a month, especially for Dream Team and those that have been rocking with me for a minute, on the days in which we know the volume is the highest, to prevent those premature whip outs and whipsaws, this is a good thing to add to the repertoire for sure. How do we get stopped out? How do we not get stopped out on Nasdaq so much? The answer is very simple. Number 1, practice more. If you have not hit 300 practice trades, you can't access yet. Number 2, you can widen your stop. So the max, I say your stop should be on Nasdaq is 100 ticks. Now you need a multiple of at least 8 in order to offset the losses that you're going to have. So if you're a stop loss, or let's say you have a multiple of 10 to be safe, because I'm assuming most people who listen right now, if you're not in the sniper program or Dream Team, you haven't practiced enough. Let's say a multiple of 10. What does your stop loss then need to be? And what does your target need to be? Practice more. Now, a wider stop does not give you room to gamble more. I want to be clear on that. You still need to do 300 practice trades. And I'm going to be real. If you get stopped out a bunch with 100 ticks, stop. You're buying at bad prices, regardless. Practice. That is the answer for everything that you want to be great at. Practice. I would like, well, how do I structure my portfolio if I'm starting at 50? Should I prepare for death, maintain a lifestyle, or pass it on to children? That's really up to you. It depends on your personal goals, but if you're looking to use it as lifestyle, my suggestion of what to invest in is going to be the same. 2 tech and 2 index. The only way in which that will change is if inflation goes up a crazy percent, 8%, 10%, 15%, 9%. As long as inflation we stay under 5 or 6%, 2 tech, 2 index is the formula in which I'm going to follow, whether it is in preparation for death to pass on, to pass to a child, or for lifestyle. Those are going to give you safety and growth combined in one. Bloomberg reported there's only a 10% chance that a recession will happen next year. So if you're looking to recreate the magic of last year, it's not going to happen yet. I don't think another recession is going to happen until 2027. So then I want you just to continue buying until the next recession occurs. Buy and hold is the move, but people who don't have money tell you that it's not because they want to finesse you into doing some shit that's going to make you lose a lot of your money. Space tourism, newest arrival is going to be offering trips by balloon. I'm scary, so I won't be doing this, but it looks pretty damn cool. If you're going to do the space tourism balloon thing, let me know. Put it in chat. I think it's a very interesting concept, and space exploration will get a lot hotter. We've given some space. You can also look at the ticker UFO. If you want to get one in the space exploration, we've talked about it here before. But you're going to see a lot more of these kind of companies pop up. And the central bank actually boosted its asset purchases in the past week, and in the past 3 months, even when they are talking about tapering its bond buying in the media. This is one of those lessons where I always tell you guys, you have to watch what people are doing and not what they are saying. And you guys asked me, what are my thoughts on a couple stocks? So let me go to the charts and walk you through and screenshot these lists, and I'll tell you which ones are good and which ones are not. All right, first one is Spotify. Do I like it? I would give it a C. It's still a good long-term investment, but I don't love it as much as some of the others that are here. Facebook, absolutely amazing. Put in chat. Is a trend here up or down? Facebook, dominant. I think if Wall Street loves Zuckerberg a little bit more, the price will be even higher than what it is. But Facebook is absolutely amazing. Apple, absolutely amazing. I know some of you are like, Apple's slow, and a company worth $1 trillion can't move slow. Let's go to PayPal. PayPal is absolutely magical. There are some that I like more, but yes, PayPal is absolutely amazing. Let's go to Lowe's. Ticker LOW. For those of you that are in construction and or real estate, I always tell you, Home Depot and Lowe's are two of the ones you should be in mandatory because you're spending money there anyway. Absolutely. CRM. Yes. CRM dipped a ton last year from 284, came down to 202. Tremendous buying opportunity at that price. It'll get back to 284 either by fourth quarter or top of next year, 20. AMD, yes. Despite the chip shortage, yes. Nvidia, I love more, and I'll look at that right now. Much better, but remember last year I told you guys, especially if you guys follow me on Twitter, if you want to make your own little micro index, invest in the two best in the space. So even like Visa and MasterCard, you compare those two together. AMD and Nvidia, you compare those two together. But AMD, I do like. Nvidia, I just happen to like better. Let's look at Activision Blizzard. I do like them a hell of a lot. And then also with the same thesis, you can look at Take-Two Interactive, which is TTWO as well. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for those of you that followed my brother last week. His channel is Big Ass Kid, BIGG with 2 G's. Follow him on YouTube to support his gaming channel. I appreciate you so much. Let's look at Chewy. Chewy, I don't love as much in comparison because it's new. Is it promising? Yes, but there are companies that have better returns that I would rather lean on. What do you think of Alibaba? Alibaba, I like. I don't love Chinese companies as much, so I will stay away from this one. What do I think of Snap? Snap has performed better than I thought. Yeah, it's performed better than I thought it would. Are there other tech companies that I like better? Yes, but Snap is on the uptrend. Definitely look to add it to your watch list and potentially your portfolio. Datadog, let's look at this real quick. Yes, Datadog is on an uptrend. Amazing. Nvidia, we covered. Let's look at Lam Research, ticker LRCX. Is this trend to the upside or downside? Yes, amazing. Let's go to Enphase real quick. Enphase, beautiful chart. Not a lot of turbulence until earlier this year. Has some hard pullbacks, but great stock. Yes, I like this one. AMD we covered. Let's look at GNRC. Is this trend to the upside or downside? Stock Club members, you see why I sent you this one and the other one last night to put into the watch list? Yes, ticker GRNC. Let's look at Zebra really quick. Zebra Technologies, sleeper. Yes, was at 46.13 at the low of 2016. If we go to July of 2018, it was at 137.61. It's at 527.13 now. Love it, amazing. And then let's look at Paycom to wrap up. Paycom software, not as strong. I like Zebra more. It's not bad, but if I compare it to Zebra, GNRC, or Enphase, those are better in comparison. Screenshot these. Screenshot these. These are some of the safest stocks to invest in. Google, Nvidia, Shopify, Twilio, ILMN, and let's go look at the chart on this one. So Illumina Inc. Not a lot of people talking about it. A lot of value. You can see, of course, last year almost everything came down to the 200 moving average. Great. The price at the yearly open, which I gave away probably 6 weeks ago, is $370. It's at $481 right now. Here, put this in chat. Safe stocks usually are expensive. The cheap stocks are the ones that usually cause hell in your portfolio. So I know everyone wants a $10 stock that could go to 800. I do as well. But usually safety is going to come at a price, and that's the premium that you're going to have to pay for it per share. And the last one, Intuitive Surgical, absolutely love. Some of you have been asking me for about dividends, and I give a whole list in Stock Club, but I'll give you a couple here that I like. Lowe's, Costco, McDonald's, Apple and Microsoft also give a small dividend, but it is a dividend nonetheless. So when you're like, hey, what about dividends? The growth of Apple and Microsoft usually are going to offset the gains that you would get in AT&T, because the stock is going to drag down on AT&T. All AT&T seems to do, and Bonawyn talked about it on here, kudos to the king, I appreciate you, brother. All they seem to do is buy distressed assets at too high of a premium, right? And then here are some that I love that are not dividends, but Ulta, absolutely amazing. If you have a significant other that shops at Ulta, they can tell you why. We talked about it before. MasterCard, but Johnson & Johnson, Visa, and Starbucks, all of these are absolutely amazing stocks to invest in. So now you can't say you don't know what to invest in. Passive income stocks, Texas Instruments. I haven't talked about this one a lot. I love Home Depot, dominant force in their space, incredibly safe, and as long as we have to build commercially or residentially, they're going to be a powerhouse for years to come. Apple, Waste Management, and then Crown Castle happens to be in Bill Gates' portfolio. It's not the only reason I like it, but Crown Castle is pretty damn amazing. Kudos to the Stock Club members who got into it last year in March. Albert Einstein once said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. What he's saying, the longer that you take to begin investing into the market, the more it's going to cost you as you get older. You hear the confidence in my voice about how I love this? Because once I finally cracked the code, when people was holding it back from me, I promised I would give it away. But now, since you've been told to what to invest in, and if you learn nothing else, 2 Tech 2 index is all you need. Even if you change the technology companies out, great. But if you do not invest, think of all the years you are missing out on potentially retiring early. How much different would your life have been if you would have been invested in a market since you were 2 years old? Or let's say 5 years old. It makes a hell of a difference. And I'll say this for my entrepreneurs, because I know you guys have been asking me to give more. I've talked about this, but I put this 5 years ago. The number one thing you have to focus on is the 5 people that you brainstorm with, talk to, and do business with. It will affect your performance no matter how talented you are. So the first time when LeBron left Cleveland and went to Miami, great. Everyone criticized him for it. What no one said was LeBron didn't have the best teammates to then stay in Cleveland. So if you have family, friends, or significant other that are telling you that you cannot do it, and I face this. Some of you have watched me blossom and grow through removing people who were not supportive of. one of the ultimate edges you are going to have is the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And I'm not telling you to cut everyone out of your life. But if the people that you talk to the most are not supportive of you and they're not also putting in the work to get to a collective goal, you have to change your fucking 5. I'm only telling you this to save you headaches and heartache. And those of you that are into investing, same thing. The people that you talk to about investing will shape what kind of gains and expectations you then will have, and it will also determine how you will execute. Shout out to my family, my friends, my associates, everybody in Red Panda. I appreciate you guys so much. You have everything that you need to master the market here in front of you. All you have to do is execute. If you're not going to bullshit, if you're going to buy quality companies, you're going to put a large majority of your money into investing, even if you're a business owner. Because if you're a business owner, Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia are going to pay better and be more consistent than any employee or consultant you usually ever hire. But it's up to you. I can only tell you what I'm doing. And doing it this way brought me a lot of peace and happiness. And if you want the same, you'll do the same. Love you guys. Over and out. What stock are you going to buy every month for the rest of your life? Now, I want you to clap like it's church. What stock are you going to buy every month for the rest of your life? Please put that in chat. Love you. Over and out.